Stories have been an integral part of human culture for thousands of years, serving as a means of entertainment, education, and communication. However, in today's fast-paced and attention-deficient world, crafting a compelling story has become more challenging than ever before. Enter Will Storr's book, The Science of Storytelling, which offers a practical guide for aspiring writers to master the art of storytelling. Storr draws on insights from psychology and neuroscience to reveal how the human brain responds to storytelling. By understanding the underlying mechanisms of attention, emotion, and memory, writers can create narratives that resonate with their audience and leave a lasting impact. One of the key takeaways from Storr's book is the importance of creating a flawed protagonist. A perfect hero may seem appealing, but it's the imperfections that make them relatable and engaging. By showing a character's struggles and vulnerabilities, the audience can connect with them emotionally and root for their success. Another essential element of a great story is the use of vivid and stimulating details. By creating a rich sensory experience for the audience, writers can transport them into the world of the story and engage their imagination. Storr also explores why underdogs and rebels are such popular characters in storytelling. It turns out that rooting for the underdog taps into our innate sense of justice and fairness, making us feel like we're part of a larger cause. Similarly, rebellious characters challenge the status quo, inspiring us to question authority and pursue our own goals. The science of storytelling also delves into the psychology of propaganda and how it can be used to manipulate our emotions and beliefs. By understanding the techniques used in propaganda, writers can use them for good instead of evil and create stories that inspire positive change. In conclusion, the science of storytelling is a valuable resource for anyone interested in crafting compelling narratives. By drawing on insights from psychology and neuroscience, Will Storr offers practical advice and real-world examples that can help writers master the art of storytelling and engage their audience on a deeper level. Idea 1. The science of reality. The human brain is a complex organ that constantly interprets information and creates stories to make sense of the world around us. Our perception of reality is subjective and influenced by the stories that our brains tell us. This is why we often wonder if we are just characters in a video game or if our reality is a figment of our imagination. Neuroscience has shown that our brains cast us as the hero of our own life narrative, which can lead us to justify our actions and make flawed decisions. We also have a natural desire to create linear narratives by connecting events in our lives into cause and effect sequences. This helps us understand why things happen the way they do and how our actions affect others. Our brains are not only focused on our own story, but also on the stories of others. We are driven to understand the minds of those around us, even assigning human-like characteristics to inanimate objects. This fascination with stories and the human mind is why we love engaging with narratives in books, movies, and other media. Understanding the science behind our perception of reality can help us become more aware of our biases and how our brains shape our experiences. It also sheds light on why storytelling has been such an integral part of human culture throughout history. By learning to craft compelling stories, we can tap into the power of the human brain and create narratives that resonate with our audience. Idea 2. The power of flawed characters in storytelling. Humans have a natural bias towards their own flaws and imperfections, but when it comes to consuming stories, we crave characters who are relatable through their faults. Through exploring life from the perspective of imperfect characters, we are given a safe space to explore our own flaws and vulnerabilities. This is crucial, as our flaws are often deeply rooted in our personal identity, cultural values, and worldviews, and can vary greatly depending on our upbringing and environment. Our tendency to cling to our beliefs and values, even if they are flawed, makes us responsive to characters who do the same. Flawed characters serve as literary mirrors, allowing us to vicariously explore the constructs of society and morality. We are drawn to flawed characters because we want to watch them learn and grow, and pursue meaningful and realistic goals. Research has shown that novels which feature goal-oriented characters are more likely to become bestsellers. Choosing the right flaws and goals for your characters is therefore a crucial task when crafting a successful story. In conclusion, flawed characters are an essential aspect of storytelling, providing readers with a relatable and safe space to explore their own imperfections. Through the lens of flawed characters, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Idea 3. Crafting a compelling character. When it comes to writing a novel, a good plot is crucial, but authors should be careful not to sacrifice character development in favor of the plot. A compelling plot should be driven by a character with a highly original personality, backstory, and worldview. Creating a character that people want to read about involves developing their theory of control, fleshing out their personality, and making them susceptible to misunderstanding others. A character's theory of control comprises how they believe they must act to keep their world stable, and this is often linked with their worldview, identity, and core values. When creating a character, it's essential to determine where they fall on the personality spectrum of neuroticism, openness, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and extroversion. This will help determine their individual personality and potential occupation, life circumstances, and situational responses. Additionally, it's important to make the character susceptible to misunderstandings, as everyone is prone to this in real life. Readers crave a connection to human fallibility, and if a character consistently understands everyone with perfect clarity and has a perfect personal life, readers won't respond to them. In summary, a compelling plot is driven by a well-developed character with a unique personality, backstory, and worldview. When crafting a character, it's important to consider their theory of control, personality traits, and susceptibility to misunderstandings. By doing so, authors can create a character that readers will want to follow on their journey. Idea 4. Creating suspense in fiction. When crafting a story, it's important to understand the value of suspense and how to create it effectively. Suspense not only generates reader engagement and interest but also allows for exploration of character and moral complexities. One way to create suspense is to open the story in the middle of action, leaving readers to wonder who the characters are and what's happening. This technique immediately hooks readers and keeps them invested in the story's outcome. Another way to build suspense is by exploring a character's moral character and testing their sense of identity and beliefs. By presenting complex emotional backstories, readers are drawn into the character's journey and can invest in their emotional development. Understanding the role of suspense in fiction and implementing techniques to create it can result in a compelling story that resonates with readers. Idea 5. The power of detail in storytelling. In storytelling, the smallest details can make the biggest impact. Our brains are wired to absorb minutiae, and by crafting skillful dialogue and descriptions, writers can tap into this innate curiosity to hook their readers and create a vivid world. Dialogue is a powerful tool in storytelling, offering information that develops the plot and revealing the inner thoughts, emotions, and backstory of characters. Effective dialogue can offer multiple layers of meaning, conveying tension, longing, and other emotions through subtle subtext. This can be seen in films like Brokeback Mountain, where a single line of dialogue can convey a wealth of unspoken feelings. Descriptions of a character's environment can also reveal much about their inner world. By showing, rather than telling, writers can offer glimpses into a character's personality, their past, and their motivations. Whether it's a hidden item in their home or the color of a cup, these details can help readers to become more invested in a character's story. Ultimately, the power of detail lies in its ability to hook readers and make them invested in a story. By teasing with small details that pique curiosity, writers can tap into our natural desire to fill in gaps in information and create a rich, evocative world that readers will remember long after they've finished reading. Idea 6. The power of status change in compelling stories. The key to keeping readers engaged from beginning to end lies in creating a story that centers around a shift in a character's status. Status change is a common denominator in many successful stories, whether it be a character's struggle to achieve a goal, a rags-to-riches tale, or a fight against injustice. This is because we are hardwired to be preoccupied with determining our place in the world, and our perception of our status can deeply impact our physical and mental health. Our desire to be included in someone else's struggle is a primary motivating factor in our enjoyment of video games, as we are programmed to seek out goal-oriented tasks. However, a good story doesn't need to have an interactive component to be effective. By crafting an engaging plot driven by flawed characters who are motivated to change their status, writers can keep readers hooked until the very end. In addition, skillful use of dialogue and descriptions of characters' environments can offer glimpses into their inner worlds and generate curiosity in readers. By utilizing these elements and focusing on the powerful concept of status change, writers can create truly compelling stories that resonate with readers long after the last page has been turned. Idea 7. The power of stories in shaping our worldview. Stories have a unique power to influence our sense of morality and consequence, ultimately shaping our worldview. From childhood picture books to historical fiction, stories seek to teach us something and impact our worldview. By depicting characters as right or wrong, stories can influence our perception of personal morality and individual status. They can also change the course of history by instigating social change. Children's stories often teach moral lessons through characters who demonstrate positive or negative behavior. For instance, in the picture book Mr. Nosy, the main character is ostracized for his nosy behavior until he learns to change, teaching children to avoid negative traits to be accepted. Meanwhile, fictional slave narratives such as Uncle Tom's Cabin motivated more people to join the abolition movement by raising awareness of injustice and arousing sympathy in readers. Stories transport us to other worlds and allow us to experience and interact with issues in our imagination. By losing ourselves in a story, we open ourselves up to a new world of exploration, personal discovery, and connections with others. Ultimately, stories have the power to shape our perception of the world around us and can inspire us to make a positive change in ourselves and others. Summary: humans have an innate affinity for stories that feature characters with realistic and relatable experiences. When crafting a compelling story, it is essential to start by creating a fully developed character who will drive the plot naturally through their struggles. Additionally, using strong dialogue and descriptive language that shows rather than tells is crucial to hooking readers' interest. Finally, identifying the status change that forms the core of your plot is also critical for creating a captivating story. By focusing on these elements, writers can create stories that resonate with readers on a deep and personal level. Whether it is a heartwarming rags-to-riches tale or a thrilling adventure featuring flawed characters, stories that center on status changes appeal to our inherent preoccupation with our place in the world. Crafting unique and relatable characters with realistic experiences allows readers to lose themselves in the story, fostering connections and facilitating personal discovery. In summary, crafting compelling stories with realistic and relatable characters requires a careful balance of character development, plot, dialogue, descriptive language, and identifying the status change at the heart of the story. With these elements in mind, writers can create powerful stories that captivate their readers' imaginations and leave a lasting impact. Now, thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And in case you want to buy the book, use the link in the description. Trust me, you won't regret it.